What's up? It's Marco back on the Stage of Soccer channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Friday and Saturday games of match week 12 of the Premier League, starting with the Manchester Derby. Timestamps in the description if you want to get straight into your favorite team. So starting off with a 0-0 draw in the Manchester Derby. Man, it was a pretty boring game, but you saw a couple of good signs from both teams. Manchester United especially, good response for them after getting thrown to the Europa League. I was really impressed by Scott McTominay and Fred did a really decent job in the midfield. Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw both stepped up as well. It was a really good performance by those guys. I said in the preview that the fullbacks would be huge for them. Aaron Wan-Bissaka in particular was doing great against Raheem Sterling. That was a great job. I thought the center backs could have been a bit better. Harry Maguire is letting a couple chances go past him, and up top it really wasn't that good. They were missing Martial and Cavani, so I feel like at this point Rashford's playing out of position when he's put up top. So I don't want to put too much blame on him, but not the greatest game. Bruno Fernandes, he didn't do anything special, but it's still a Bruno Fernandes performance. So he did a good job, but just nothing special for him. And thought Pogba had a pretty decent performance as well. I think that he does really well in this midfield diamond that they were employing. He was doing his best at Juventus with that when he had a Pirlo who could do a lot of the possession work. He had Marchisio and Vidal who were doing a lot of defensive work. That works really well for him. I think if the fullbacks can play like this every game and they can keep up their good work, this might be a formation that Manchester United could stick with. And if they do that, then get the best out of Pogba, get the best out of Bruno. I think you'd really need Wan-Bissaka to do more offensively. He didn't have a chance to today, but I think that is something he needs to improve on if they want to stick with this formation. I think that strategy-wise, they probably could have committed a bit more to counterattacking. They may have been able to come away with a win if they did that, but they did decide to go basically toe-to-toe with this Man City team, and I can't really fault the bravery for that, but I feel like if they were to have gone more counterattack, they might have had a better chance of winning. Just want to throw that out there, but overall, really good performance by Manchester United to come away with the draw. For Man City, it was not the best for them. Some pretty bad games by their whole attack. Kevin De Bruyne wasn't himself. He was still making some good passes, but not one of his better performances. Raheem Sterling was really not that good today. He couldn't make anything happen. Gabriel Jesus is proving again that he won't be a good successor to Sergio Aguero, and I stand by that. I don't think he's good enough to be an elite striker, and Mahrez didn't do his best today either. In the midfield, Rodri was really disappointing to me. I feel like he's not the best. He's not the greatest defender. He keeps possession, but I don't feel like he does anything special for this team. And again, I'm looking at this old Man City team, and they got so lucky that they were able to pick out Aguero, Yaya Toure, David Silva, Vincent Kompany, and have all of them be just legends for them. It's seriously, when you look back and how many buys they got, I guess when you think back on it, they did spend a lot on strikers. They had Dzeko, Balotelli, Tevez, did they have Berbatov? I don't think they had Berbatov. I'd expect them to have Berbatov, though, but I don't think they did. But just something interesting, because the new signings haven't been working out that well for them. Thinking, going forward, I really want to see more out of Raheem Sterling. We know that he's a really good player, but he just hasn't been world-class this year. His finishing, it's not consistent enough to be reliable. I know that he had 31 goals last year, but when you see him with the chance in front of goal, I don't think anybody feels confident with him anymore. And that's just a bad sign. Do want to say on the positives, John Stones was looking really good at the back. Him and Ruben Diaz have been a really decent partnership, and it's really good to see John Stones performing well. Yeah, something that I have to criticize Pep for was there was only one substitution this entire game, and I feel like Phil Foden or Bernardo Silva could have made an impact. And he's doing this weird thing this year where he's just not making as many substitutes as he needs to. I don't understand it. They certainly have the depth. I mean, they were dealing with injuries at the beginning, but not so much anymore. I think Aguero probably was fit enough for the bench as well, and I don't know. Really weird performance by Man City. Should be said that they still did come away with the draw. I'm talking about this like they've lost, but I think the expectations for Man City is probably a bit higher right now, especially after United crashed out of the Champions League. So, man of the match, I mentioned before, I was really impressed with Aaron Wan-Bissaka today. Did a great job on Raheem Sterling. Probably one of his best performances in a long time. Hope we can see some more out of that for him. Next game is West Ham against Leeds. going into the Friday game now, and West Ham came away with the win, and really good game for them. I think something that I talked about in the preview that really came to fruition was the set pieces, and man, that's more of a Leeds thing, but it should be said that there's some good delivery. Souček, he's always a threat in the box. He came away with a goal. Ogbonna, he got a second straight week with a goal for him, and Ogbonna's been playing pretty well lately. Declan Rice was doing a really decent job, a really good job today on Friday. He was great again. He's turning into one of the best midfielders in the league. Keeping possession well, great defensive work, pretty good with both feet. He's definitely going to be a starter for England going forward. After that, the attack wasn't the greatest. Jared Bowen was coming away with some chances, but nothing really special by him. And Hilaire was holding the ball up all right, but his finishing hasn't been that great since he arrived in London. So, I think defensively is probably their best work. Rice and Souček were doing well in front of the back four. And it was the back four this week because of an injury to Masuaku, I believe. And I'm forgetting the guy, but he had Cresswell do a good job in left back. He's another guy who could be considered for England. I mean, Chilwell's probably the guy, but when you compare it to like a Luke Shaw, who did play well this week, he's probably better at that left center back role. Probably better going forward as well, so that's just something I want to throw out there. I mean, the left center back position is kind of up there, up in the air for that England team. I mean, it's him and Tyrone Mings, and I do like Tyrone Mings, but I don't know, it may be worth giving Cresswell a call up. But yeah, decent performance by West Ham. They're on some great form. I think they finished the game in the top 5. Haven't seen how the table changed since then, but really great year by them. Next on to Leeds, and probably one of their worst games in a while. I mean, they had a great start. They had a Cooper win the ball in the midfield and find Bamford to win a penalty, and Klitsch converted that after 2 tries. Fabianski stepped off his line to make a save, but after that, it really wasn't that good for them. They couldn't really dominate the game as they really like to. You did have a Rice and Souček, and they're 2 really talented defensive midfielders, but they couldn't really get a foothold into the game that they really would have wanted to. Not too sure about Rodrigo right now. I don't think he's played in the midfield much before he came to Leeds. Not doing poorly, but I feel like he isn't getting the most out of what he can do. Jack Harrison hasn't been that great since the start of the year, should be said, and this Leeds team just hasn't been the same lately. I mean, they may be running out of gas. They're a team that presses so much, they use so much energy, and I'm kind of worried about them going into the Christmas period. Could end up dropping a lot of points. That's something that really you don't like to see. Yeah, not the greatest game, and the set-piece defending is awful by them. They really got to figure something out. It might be worth it to just, maybe they should have gone after an Ivanovic. Just get a big center back in there and win headers. Who's somebody who would probably be there in the championship? Can't think of any. I don't know, Dominic Iorfa. Can't think of anybody right now, but they got to figure something out with that set-piece defending. But anyway, man of the match for this game, Declan Rice was a great performer, I think. He's impressed me so much throughout this year, and great job by him again. Next, we got Wolves and Aston Villa. Aston Villa beat Wolves 1-0. And I want to start off with Wolves, and this team is probably underperforming right now. Obviously, that injury to Raul Jimenez is pretty bad, but they spent £40 million on a striker. I don't think that should be an excuse when you spent £40 million on a striker. I mean, Fabio Silva, he's, 18, 19? Obviously, you don't want to put the blame on him, but £40 million, you have to be able to perform. You shouldn't be out there looking like Liam Delap, who just an academy call-up who got thrown in there because they didn't have another option. Is he the record signing? I feel like he might be the record signing, and it's not. He did grow into the game. He had one shot that hit the post, but he's not going to be good enough for this team if they want to reach Europe. And I don't know, maybe they could bring in a loan in the spring. I mean, normally you think of championship guys. Andre Silva, his career's kind of stalled. Maybe you get him in. He's a Portuguese dude. I think Eder could do a job. I don't know, but It's not the greatest look for Leeds right now. Their midfield really wasn't able to dominate the game as much as I would have liked to. I think they were the better of the two midfields, but again, you'd really like to see more out of John Moutinho and Donker. I mean, not a bad performance by any means, but I don't know. It's like when I was mentioning Bruno Fernandes and De Bruyne. I mean, it didn't reach the expectations, but still a good game. But Moutinho did come with a red card, so that's going to hurt them. But actually might not, because Ruben Neves is just going to come in. Maybe he could do better now. Defensively, Nelson Semedo's been a really bad signing. He doesn't offer much going forward, and he's been at fault for a good amount of goals. He's given away too many penalties, losing his man, and something that I mentioned before. If this was a decision made by Mendes to sell Doherty and bring in his own guy, that's something that you have to watch out for, because if the agent's starting to bring in his own guys and now it's starting to hurt the team, then that's a bad situation. Yeah, there were some good things. Podence and Neto continue to do well. If Mendes keeps bringing in guys like them, I think they'll be fine. And I think the back four is looking good for them. I mean, they were able to keep a clean sheet through 90 minutes. Just a dumb penalty, but Marcel, Cody, they're looking good. Saiss had a good game. If Bally comes in, I think he'll do fine. So that is a good look, and I do think they were the better team. The midfield was doing well. Pons and Neto were getting good. Traore's not been great this year, should be said. I did think he did have the virus, but he should have recovered by now. Yeah, he's got to do better. So for Aston Villa, decent performance by them. Not too much to say. One of the more quiet games by Grealish, though he did combine with McGinn to win the penalty at the end. McGinn did a really nice job to win the penalty. Nutmegged Semedo, I believe, just completely owned him, got the penalty. El Ghazi converted it. Douglas Luiz had a decent game before the red card. Ramsey had a decent debut. I didn't even know who he was before the game, but he came in, did a decent job. Nothing special, but I think he drew the red card for Moutinho, so that's something. These two red cards. This was a real derby, but yeah, good game. Defense held out. I think the best performer was Martinez. He had a couple of really nice saves on Donker mostly. So really good game by them. I mean, not too much to talk about. I mean, Aston Villa, I feel like they're getting lucky with so many points this year. They had that red card against Sheffield at the start of the year, and I don't know. But hey, they're definitely going to stay up. Maybe they can do a little bit more. Who knows? But good performance by them. I think the man of the match for this one is Martinez. Next game, we got Newcastle beating West Brom 2-1, and it was a good win despite missing on some players. Got a super early goal within like 30 seconds. He had Murphy and Joelton combine, and he found Almiron with a really nice pass to get the opener. And later on for the winner, Jacob Murphy found Dwight Gale. Don't watch the preview where I said, hey, if somebody's got the virus, hopefully it's somebody like a Dwight Gale or something. Yeah. I gotta say some like really dumb things like talk about Crystal Palace, like, man, Max Mayer, where he's been. I don't know. I should say, let's do that. Try to get Max Mayer in. Man, Max Mayer, he hasn't done anything all year. Man, they should just release him right now. He's eating up a lot of wages. He's not done anything. He should probably go back to Germany. Okay, Crystal Palace, got you that. Now, for the rest of the team, decent game. Isaac Hayden had a really good game at the back, especially with playing out of position. They're another set of brothers. Like, Longstaff had a good game. I got the Longstaff brothers, one of the Murphys. I guess you have a lot of families in football. I don't know. Makes sense. Jamal Lewis was at fault for the goal, really switched off, but, really good game by Newcastle, especially given the circumstances where they were missing a ton of players, so great job by them. Also, we got a DeAndre Yedlin sighting. That's going to be pretty good. Hopefully he comes back. So for West Brom, not the best game. Bilic will probably be out. My prediction is the first game after Christmas. After that, he's going to be out. Just give the manager some time in January, bring in some signings. I'm thinking it's going to be Big Sam. I don't know. That's my guess. We haven't seen Paul Ince in a while. I feel like he should be a manager. He hasn't managed since Blackpool, I think. Probably not this job, but just throwing that out there. Obviously, the terrible start of the game conceded right away. Ivanovic got beat to the ball, and defense was torn apart. Couldn't do much on the second. It was a really good cross by Murphy. Really good finish by Dwight Gale. Didn't celebrate because he used to play for West Brom. I think he helped them come up. Or was that? I don't know. I think he helped them come up. But, got a goal off a Furlong goal. Furlong's been pretty decent for them. Off a Matt Phillips cross. He hasn't featured that much this year. Charlie Austin came on as well. He's another guy who I didn't expect to see. But yeah, I would have liked to see Grady Diangana play today. I feel like his athleticism could have brought something to the field. And, yeah, I think Gallagher is looking really good. He's probably their best player for this year. But yeah, poor performance by West Brom. Billich will probably be out soon. And yeah, I think they're going to be relegated. Man of the match, Isaac Hayden had a really good game, as I mentioned. Last game of the week, we had Everton beat Chelsea 1-0. It was a pretty even game to start things off, but Dominic Calvert-Lewin was able to win a penalty. Mendy came out and out of the goal and hit him. Really weird situation. Sigurdsson converted, taking the ball off for Charleston. The defense had a really good performance. I think it was a good idea to bring in the two center backs, Godfrey and Holgate, instead of having the wing backs. I think that allowed them to attack a bit more and really much more solid defensively than just sticking a Wobie and Fabian Delph at a wing back position. Now, really good game by the midfield as well. Allen and Decore were doing well, not letting Chelsea really get a foothold and dominate the game. Where Charleston was doing well, he's making a couple of chances, dropping back pretty well also. But yeah, I think that he hasn't been that great this year. His finishing isn't as lethal as before, but I think good performance and real downside for this game is Jordan Pickford. I have no idea how he didn't concede. He was making a lot of misses with balls into the box. He wasn't distributing that well. He might have picked up a knock, but man, he has not been that good. And you really have to wonder if England can Southgate can justify keeping him in the England squad long term. Hopefully Henderson will start to play. But yeah. So for Chelsea, Mendy, he made a rare mistake giving away the penalty. I mean, came out of the box, a pretty stupid move by him. I think aside from that, their defense did play well. Reece James especially was doing really nice going forward. Midfield, it was fine. It was a pretty even game, as I mentioned, but I don't know. With that Chelsea midfield, you'd really expect them to dominate, especially with the pedigree that Conte, Kovacic, and Mason Mount bring. So up top was the real issue. Giroud wasn't able to do too much. I don't think you expect him to really make his own shots, but Timo Werner, I don't want to say he had a bad game because his movement's good. He's making chances, but he has to be able to finish. It's like what I was talking about with Fabio Silva. Like, they spent that much money on you. Just looking good isn't enough. You have to be able to score. And same with Havertz. Again, going back to Fabio Silva, what is he, like 20? I don't think he's even 21, but he was that dude who had to miss out on a Champions League game because of his exams a couple years back. But they spent that much money on you. You have to be able to perform. And it might just be his play style, but he just seems kind of disinterested in games. And I really want to see more from Havertz. But for Chelsea, they really need to get Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi maybe, and definitely Ziyech. They need to get back if this team wants to play at their best, because this attack is looking really flat without them. Yeah, bad performance by Chelsea, but hopefully when their injury bad luck ends, they'll get better, and they are still like top 4 team right now. Man of the match, I think Godfrey had a really good performance by Everton, especially given the circumstances. Yeah, that's it for the Saturday games. Sunday game starting in an hour and a half. We're going to get that Sheffield Southampton squad in a bit. And yeah, looking forward to it. That's all I've talked about. See you.